been talking about using beauty. We've been talking about it as instrumental, sort of, that we would apply as. How would we think about beauty as applied to cigarette ads or to war propaganda or other things that some people would argue are getting us into trouble? So is the beauty what we always strive for, no matter what?
Beauty can be used to heal, to connect people, and it can be used to sell cigarettes. There's probably 31 flavors of beauty, or 3,100 flavors of beauty, or 3,100 flavors of love. And what do different people mean when they say they want peace? They mean different things.
Beauty doesn't always exist. I think it's something we strive for. I think that's what I was trying to say earlier. In our human relations, in our way of being in the world, in our way of seeing the world and contributing to the world, we want to do it in a way that contributes to the beauty of life and objects and buildings and human relationships and relations with God.
I can't see how a cigarette ad can be beautiful. I mean, I have the same issue with that. But I think there is certain aspects about some places where, like this was a good example. It was an ugly factory, but by painting a mural, it became beautiful. Not only in color, but also it spoke to the hearts and the souls of the people that worked it, because all the murals were about their local folk heroes.
It was Sharp Memorial, and they have just opened their new pavilion, and it's truly a healing pavilion. I've worked in hospitals all of my life, and I felt a distinct difference. There's an ability to take a deep breath. There's an ability to exhale, because the lines are compatible with your eyes. There's a lot of space to look out the windows. It happened to have been a sunset when I was there. There are some walls that have paintings on them. They're nicer than the ones that don't. Fresh flowers. Around Christmas time, there were fresh Christmas trees and orchids in the surgery preparation area, real orchids. And clouds painted on the skylight. I was impressed with the thought that had gone into what someone has said was healing for them, and the representation then was something that I thought was beautiful.
I think it's really hard to define something like beauty. It's like defining love or something. Being human, you have both joy, you have a cup of coffee, and you have friends, and you have the sunshine, and a lot of really great things, but there's also a lot of sadness and pathos in life. People die, and you get sick, and what I really think, and I think it's like the Buddhists maybe, is that beauty is really the line between the two. It's the edge that makes both of them richer, and that it's not pretty.
Pretty sells cigarettes, pretty sells cars, but it's not beauty.
No.
It doesn't challenge us, it doesn't transform us, it doesn't give us some new vision of the world, some new perspective with which to see the world.
When we see beauty, we recognize it's how it's reacting at this moment in our heart. And it's not something that is that's going to endure forever, and it doesn't have to. The real beauty that we're experiencing is not that painting on the wall; it's what it's doing to us inside. And there's so many ways to get that. So I think accepting impermanence is a real clue. It's not the end, but it's a real clue. And for me, I found that as I worked more successfully with getting rid of the ego in the things that I did and said and undertook and participated in, let me appreciate things much more, where I didn't have to own it, I didn't have to have it, I didn't have to take pride in any part of it. I just recognized it for what it was and let it affect my heart, and moved along, didn't try to own it.